Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Valheim Hardcore series. Today we've got a little bit of cleanup from the live stream. Just for a time reference, I'm actually recording this voiceover, and indeed actually the footage was all done within about 12 hours of the end of the live stream. So yeah, still a bit tired, but it's all good. So we've got we got rather a lot done during the live stream. So it was very much a very productive session. And look, anyone who's watched it either during or after, thank you very much. Thank you again to anyone who's subscribed, either for a long time or just in the last minute or somewhere in between. All of you have contributed to me hitting the 100 subscribers, and look, that's just freaking awesome, if you will excuse my freaking. But anyway, with that out of the way, we're kind of trying to work out our next moves. Now, at this stage, I'm doing what I tend to do, which is to focus on bench upgrades first. So we've run out into the world, and this was the first significant copper node that we found to the north. And we're going to get some on-site smelting set up, and we're going to get ourselves a little shack that we can rest in, so we're not working during the night. Because as we know, they mostly come at night, mostly. We say mostly because they come during the day as well. It's just during the day, all we're getting is regular grey dwarves mixed in with the occasional one-star grey dwarf, and we can handle those. At night, if we're going to be working, there's a reasonably solid chance that we're going to end up with a brute and or a shaman. And I gotta say, we kind of we learnt to try and stay away from the brutes. It's not that they kind of killed us; it's just they hit really cracking hard. You really need to be in a set of bronze armor that's been upgraded to have a chance. So yeah, it's probably best to avoid them completely, which is why I've spent a few minutes here setting up a little shack. The layout's a bit weird, but that's fine. We do something with that in a minute. We got a mining pick out, just the antler pick, just to level this ground a little bit so we can get 2 smelters set up. And then, look, this session was, I think it was about an hour and 10 minutes or thereabouts. And we essentially had a mixture of chopping wood, so we can make these wood stacks and then burn them to create charcoal, intermixed with fighting off grey dwarves of various flavours, intermixed with, sleeping out the nights, and also, mining copper, basically. So we ended up spending, I'm going to say, probably about 40 minutes of this session just doing that, because we, as always, when you're in or near the Black Forest, all you got to do is chop a tree down or anything, and within about 2 minutes you've got a group of 3 grey dwarves that show up. So it's the productivity is pretty good, but you get a lot of interruptions. So it took several days to mine this node out completely. Wow, we didn't dig into the ground very much, but we got pretty much all of the surface copper that we could get down to, I don't know, half a metre or so into the ground. And we ended up with quite a lot, and I'll show you the chest here at some stage that has the smelted copper in it. It's definitely a really good start, but as we know from previous playthroughs, it's all metals. We always need buckets of them, especially bronze, because you've got 2 copper to make 1 bronze bar, and then The tools are, I think there are 5 or 8 bronze each. We need, I think, about 5 bronze for one of the crafting things. We need copper for the forge. We need, although I think I've built the forge at this stage. We need tin for something else. We're going to need a bucket load of this stuff. So this isn't the only time that I'm going to be utilising this kind of dual smelter on-site smelting kind of arrangement. Now, in amongst the other things that we're going to be putting together, we're also, I believe by the end of this episode, we are going to put together the first actual boat. So not the raft, the first actual boat, which I always forget the name of. We do it because it's got 4 cargo slots in it, which allows us to carry, 4 stacks of smelted metal, and that's a lot of weight. I mean, to run that manually without a portal means I'm running in both directions. It would take me ages because the smelted bars are quite heavy, and even with the Menenjord belt, which gives me an extra 150 carry weight, I think I can really only carry my gear, my food, and a stack of 30 copper bars, give or take. So using the boat to carry 4 at a time, plus obviously I could carry a stack on myself. So utilising the boat means I get to carry 5, and that's so much quicker. So yeah, that's our goal here. So we've got ourselves set up. We've made a bunch of charcoal, and it's time to get stuck into this copper vein. And predictably, yep, grey dwarves show up to, provide mild irritation from time to time. In between, we just focus on mining the copper. So that's probably enough of a mildly tired waffling spiel for the start of an episode. So I'm going to sit back and let you take in the chaos that is mining copper. Now, I decided to do a little bit of science here. Spending the flame arrows to bust these wood piles to make charcoal seemed, well, a bit of an indulgence in terms of materials. I mean, a single fire arrow doesn't really, it's not really consuming a lot of materials, but there is room for efficiency. So I thought, well, what other flaming thing do I have? And it turns out, yeah, we've got a flaming torch. And I found that actually worked really well. Like, you've got to hit it a couple of times before, you fully depleted it. But the one torch, which of course is just one piece of wood and one, resin. One resin and one wood. It lasts me for 3, maybe 4 stacks of wood. like the wood piles, to convert them to charcoal. So that was super awesome. So look, when we get magic, it'll be a different story. We can just, you know, equip a fire staff and just nuke them as often as we want to. But until then, yeah, just using a plain old torch works absolutely fabulously. Well, we're starting to make a bit of progress with the copper, but we've still got a lot more to go. Again, we're doing the whole sleeping the night out. It's interesting that it seems to wake me up about a minute before the day rolls over, but yeah, it's alright. We don't go outside, particularly when we can hear noises, because those noises are usually some of the nastier grey dwarves, and the minute the day rolls over, they'll despawn, so it's best not to aggro them. Other than that very minor inconvenience, I didn't really have any significant issues when I was doing this. And you can see there we've got bucket loads of copper bars already, and we're still smelting. So I think we ended up with almost 5 full stacks of copper from this node. Now, one thing of note, in my tiredness, I did forget to drop the loot from 3 down to 2. I had it on 3 for the live stream because I was kind of expecting a bit more, you know, dying and lost gear, but we only had the 1 loss, and that didn't take long to replace Itchy's gear. So we ended up doing alright, but I forgot to drop the loot down. So for this, it didn't really affect much. It just means I probably got 50% more copper out of this node than what I was expecting. It'll average out over time because there's just so much metal that we need to do all of the things that we need to do, and it's going to take many copper nodes before we have all of what we need. And then we're probably going to need a few more copper nodes on top of that so we can make spare sets of gear. So yeah, we've got a lot of work ahead of us before we're done with the Bronze Age. Now, we've run back to base. We left a smelter here, just on the off chance that I bring some ore back. It's nice to have something set up there ready to go. And we're cracking out some bronze, and we are going to, initially, we're going to make the balance of the bronze nails. So during the stream, I think, or immediately after, I did make 20 bronze nails, but we need 80 for the boat. So we've done that now. We're just going to chuck them in the chest ready to go. But we're not done with the metals that we have, so we're going to see what other upgrades we can manage before we actually head back to pick up the rest of the copper in the boat. Alright, the first tool slash weapon that we're eyeballing is the bronze axe, because we need a more convenient way of getting core wood and fine wood. And look, having the axe for a bit of extra damage against mobs that take you know, normal or additional damage against slashing weapons, it's not going to hurt as well. So now, we've remembered that we actually, with the unlocking of the forge, we actually get forge improvements as well. So, two of them? Yeah, 2 for the forge and 1 for the workbench. So, we're, just for now, we're going to put a shelf up here that we're going to put our bench improvements up So the forge improvements are going to go on the left, and the workbench improvements are going to go on the right. Initially, we've got the anvils, and there's a forge cooler. It's going to be a little while before we have that one installed up there. But we are going to install our regular workbench upgrade, which is the ADSI. So we're going to jump up here in a sec. Yep, there we go. And we found a nice cozy spot for it there. So we now have a level 4 workbench, which is going to let us potentially add a level to our troll gear. And look, any upgrades I can get in the gear department are very much welcomed. So we're just going to crank these upgrades out now. I can't remember, what have we got? 9. So it's 4 per though. So we're only going to get two of the leather armor, or the troll leather I should say. We're only going to get 2 of them upgraded. But we are going to get our bone tower shield upgraded, which is also very nice, because from the live stream I learned that while the 1-star skellies don't do a lot of damage through the shield, with the frequency of their attacks, they do stack up my my stagger bar to the point where even one-on-one, I've got to kind of back away occasionally just to give my stagger bar a chance to recover. Otherwise, they're going to knock me off balance. And yep, whenever that happens, it never ends well. So, increasing the level of the bone tower shield gives us some more block value, which of course means hopefully our stagger meter is not going to go up quite so quickly. And also, it will give us a slightly better chance of surviving, you know, something hitting us even harder. And by something, I mean potentially a brute or a 2-star skeleton, because those things hit like freight trains. And yeah, I want to be as upgraded as possible before I run into another one of those. Alright, we've finally got our materials together for our little boat here, which I'm constantly forgetting the name of. Now, I'm having a look down from my little dock wall there, and I've realised that, yeah, that's a bit too high to be climbing out of a boat onto on a regular basis. So, before we drop the boat down, we're actually just going to make ourselves a boat dock that's a little bit lower down. Which will make things a lot easier when it comes time to loading and unloading the boat, whatever it might be. We're just attaching here to the earthen wall to get maximum stability, and we're going to put a roof on it just so we don't have to worry about it degrading with the weather. I'm just deciding to put these beams out like this just to give me some mounting points. Look, everybody has their own way of doing these things, I guess. If it's fit for purpose, that's good enough for me at this stage. If I get a bit sidetracked and or have excess of materials, I might investigate, making everything a bit prettier at a later date. But for the moment, yeah, look, this will definitely do the job. Now we're just popping a ladder there. We don't use stairs because mobs can climb stairs. We use ladders because they can't climb the ladders. Now here's our carve, which I just remembered because I read it off the screen. And yeah, that workbench roof is kind of in a slightly inconvenient spot, but that's fine. We'll maneuver around that whenever we need to. Until such time as I come up with a better system for that particular bench. Those workbenches out there, well, it'll come in handy for repairing the boat, but primarily it's just there to stop stuff spawning. You could probably make a reasonable argument that nothing's going to spawn out there, but some of that water is quite shallow, and I have a feeling that like necks and things like that have got a chance to spawn there. So I just want to avoid anything sort of popping in and then deciding that my my beautiful and precious carve is going to be on the menu. So yeah, we're not having that. But what we are having is the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.